Pakistan folded for 114 in just 18 overs as the Indian attack kept striking and never allowed the chase to settle.
The headline act was none other than Ishan Kishan, 77 off 40 balls on a tricky pitch where others struggled. Clean hitting, smart placement, complete control of the tempo gave India a total that always looked out of reach. Calculated pressure from the start, that's what India did. Pakistan's reply never found rhythm. Wickets kept falling through in the middle overs and the asking rate climbed with every single spell.
Now the crowd sensed it early and the internet reacted even faster as it does, with memes flooding timelines as the collapse unfolded and fans across both sides turned the match into an instant online comedy.
Off the field, emotions ran high. Our players continued their no handshake stance after the game, reflecting the tense backdrop around the rivalry. And before the action began, rapper Hanuman Kind lit up the stadium. Dhurandhar theme music echoed through the build-up while his performance set the mood for what became a loud, intense evening. In fact, we've been seeing Dhurandhar track take over social media through these memes as well. So that's pretty much the mood post-match too.
And of course, that's something that we're going to continue to see in this entire week as well. Let's just take a look at some of the reactions as well.
थोड़ा सा मुझे होप थी आज के टीम की कुछ चेंजेस, कुछ फॉर्मेशन ऐसी थी, हमारे स्पिनर्स ऐसे थे कि मुझे लग रहा था कि हम फंसा लेंगे मैच को और एटलीस्ट एक फाइट देंगे, बट इट्स लाइक द सेम रूटीन मैटर. बुमराह के जवाब हमारे पास नहीं है, हार्दिक को हम फेस नहीं कर सकते. इट्स द सेम सिचुएशन. वेल प्लेड टीम इंडिया एज ऑलवेज. देखिए, अगर इस तरह की परफॉर्मेंस रहेगी तो मेरा नहीं ख्याल है इंडिया से हम कभी भी जीत सकते हैं. सही है, इंडिया की वर्किंग, इंडिया का होमवर्क हमेशा बहुत अच्छा होता है. और आज ना मैं यूजुअली बड़ा पॉजिटिव होता हूँ, आज मेरा दिल टूटा है. जिस तरह इतनी गंदी परफॉर्मेंस है कि मैं आज लिटरली सारे इंडियन क्राउड को वेव करके थम्स अप दे के आए होंगे. यार वेल प्लेड, आपकी टीम बहुत अच्छी है.
भारत ने पाकिस्तान को फिर वही बच्चों की तरह हरा दिया है और सेम ओल्ड स्टोरी, सेम ओल्ड फेसेस. जब आप एक ही चीज के साथ आगे बढ़ते रहेंगे यार, आपने इम्प्रूवमेंट या डिफरेंट जो रिजल्ट्स हैं वो कैसे होंगे जब तक आप चेंज ही कुछ नहीं करेंगे. आपने एक बंदे को बाहर निकाला, रिजवान को, सारा कसूर उसका था, बाकी सारे ठीक कर रहे थे. कि आप यार बहाने ढूंढ रहे होते हैं लोगों को ले के आने के. आप अपने बच्चों की तरह मैच हारे हो यार. आपको इस तरह कि जिस तरह वो कोई भूल ही गया कि खेलना भी आता है यार.
भावना आज अंदर का कैसा था भारत पाकिस्तान के मैच को लेके?
नहीं, थोड़ा सा टेंस माहौल तो था ही लेकिन अब सब सही है, चीजें कंट्रोल में हैं.
आज ईशान किशन के इनिंग पर क्या बोलेंगे?
नहीं, अच्छा खेला उसने भी. उसको थोड़ा, मेरे हिसाब से उसको थोड़ा और रुकना चाहिए था. अच्छा बैटिंग कर रहा था, तो जब वैसी बैटिंग है तो फिर और थोड़ा सा किया जा सकता था.
आज अपने बेटे से ऐसी पारी की उम्मीद थी?
हाँ, अभी अच्छा खेल रहा है, इसलिए हम लोग तो हमेशा ही भगवान से प्रे करते रहते हैं कि वो हर मैच में स्कोर करे, रन करे. और आज उसने किया तो बहुत अच्छा लगा हम लोग को, क्योंकि सारे लोगों की भावनाएं जुड़ी हुई हैं क्रिकेट से, तो इसमें अच्छा करने में तो अच्छा लगता है.
अच्छा, पाकिस्तान के जो मिस्ट्री बॉलर है उस्मान तारिक, आज जब वो बॉलिंग करने आए थे बाद में, जिस समय तक ईशान किशन बैटिंग करे तो उस समय तक बॉलिंग करने नहीं आ रहे थे. वजह क्या लगती है आपको?
नहीं, हम लोग भी वेट कर रहे थे ईशान कैसे फेस करता है उसकी बॉल को, लेकिन वो आए नहीं, उसके पहले ही ईशान आउट हो गया.
क्या लगता है अगर आते तो क्या होता है?
नहीं, देखिए, क्रिकेट है, कुछ भी हो सकता है, बट हम लोग भी देखना चाहते थे कि वो बैटल कैसा होता है. क्योंकि नाम बड़ा सुना था हमने, तो हम सोच रहे थे कि एक बार ईशान के सामने आए, देखें कि भाई कैसा उसमें वो करता है.
अच्छा, तो थोड़ी मायूसी हुई कि भाई ईशान किशन और उस्मान तारिक के बीच में जो जंग होनी चाहिए थी आज उस टाइप का नहीं, क्रिकेट के मैदान में?
बिल्कुल मायूसी हुई कि हम चाह रहे थे कि उस्मान तारिक भी आए, उनको भी देखें कि कैसी बॉलिंग करते हैं और ईशान कैसी बैटिंग करता है उनके सामने, बट ये नहीं हो सका.
आप अपनी भावना को कैसे प्रकट करेंगे?
बहुत खुश हैं, बहुत ज्यादा खुशी हो रही है. इंडिया जीत गई, प्राउड मूवमेंट है सब लोगों के लिए. बस
कैसा लगा एक माँ के तौर पे और क्रिकेट प्रशंसक के तौर पे?
कुछ बहुत प्राउड फील हुआ, बहुत अच्छा खेला और सब प्लेयर मिलकर अच्छा किए और इंडिया जीती. बस इसी मौके का इंतजार था.
साल पहले जब वो टीम में थे और 2 साल बीच में नहीं रहे, इस लंबे अंतराल को कैसे आप लोगों ने संभाला? ईशान को वो 2 साल का कैसा गुजरा समय?
कुछ नहीं, बस ईशान को एक ही बात, उसके पापा, उसका भाई, पूरी फैमिली, सब लोग सपोर्ट में खड़े थे और बोले कुछ नहीं, बस आपको अपना काम करना है। और उसने मेहनत की, बहुत मेहनत की ईशान ने, और कभी मतलब परेशान अगर होता भी था तो व्यक्त नहीं किया, और अपने कड़ी मेहनत की। और हम लोग फैमिली, सब लोगों का बहुत सपोर्ट था कि मोरली डाउन नहीं होना है।
Former Indian cricketer Atul Vasan joins us this morning. Good morning, Atul. Lovely catching up with you. I'm sure you've been tracking the story very closely, and this doesn't feel any short of, when the women brought the World Cup back home, isn't it? And that's the, really the highlight when it comes to India versus Pakistan. But would you today, after having seen how India clearly outperformed Pakistan yesterday, would you still call it the greatest rivalry?
Well, I wouldn't call it a story for me, because I'm a former cricketer. It's more than a story for me. But you know what? I hate to gloat on somebody's misery, but Pakistan is a kettle of fish. And I was thinking, driving back from the studio yesterday, I was thinking, why is this such euphoria? Because we have been doing it every so often now that we expect this. And we are a better team, but it's just the narrative, the baggage that this match brings to everybody's mind. That even if we are much superior in everything we do, in our economy, in how the country is run. Pakistan's got nothing, but still, once we beat them and again, we still feel this euphoria. We shouldn't be there, but Indian team, Indian players played a perfect game yesterday, and I think we should forget about it now, because we have not won the World Cup. It was just another match, and I think Indian team is the first one to realize, the players know that yes, we are better. This was expected to happen. We did it. Now we have to move on. And as soon as they must have reached the hotel, the job, the focus on the job is to win the World Cup. It's much bigger than for a game for Pakistan. But I think Indian team, Indian system, Indian ecosystem has become more mature now that we have done it. We've been there, done it, got the t-shirt. Now we move on.
Absolutely, and in fact, it's interesting that you mentioned that, because I was going to ask with this, as you mentioned, this is also, it has a huge narrative and a psychological impact also. With this win, would you say, when we talk about the psychological edge, that has tilted decisively going forward as well?
No, that shifted decisively, I think, a couple of years ago. But whenever, because then after some, every now and then something happens besides cricket between India and Pakistan, and then we all bring everything back to the same point, and then we wait for the match, because we feel that this match has got a more connotations than just a cricket game. But let's play. Let's discuss how we played the game, and we're man to man on paper. We are much superior, and I think Indian system has won. Because Pakistan has been left behind, and I feel sorry that if Pakistan goes down this road, then we might just lose another good team in world cricket, like we have lost West Indies. And Pakistan has to do something drastic, because they are just sliding down, and it comes a point where you can't come back.
Yeah, even today, Atul, if you just go by a lot of post-match comments, a lot of Pakistani players have been heard saying that, look, we were great in the 1990s and this is possibly India's era. Well, it doesn't work like that. You got to up your game and get back to that point. But Atul, I again want to zoom out a little bit, focus on what we saw yesterday. Would you really say that power play, both in the first and the second innings, was really the defining moment? The Indian batsmen, the bowlers, they stole the show in the power play itself.
Well, that is what you're supposed to do in T20. T20, and I always said that.
But how
Pakistan
often does it happen?
No, it happens with good teams. When you are a good team, then you keep the pressure on, even if you lost Abhishek in the first over. But we just didn't relent. We had Ishan Kishan. Somebody steps up to the plate as soon as somebody goes down. And that is the hallmark of a good team. When you have got a plan A, plan B, plan C. But having said that, I must say that I always said that Pakistan can only win if they have this mindset, aggressive mindset, and this attacking mindset. And you can only have it. It's easy to say. You can drum yourself into this frenzy that okay, कल को match है और जैसे वो huddle बना रहे थे. But you have to walk the talk. And if all the players are not on the same page, verbally you're saying yes, we will do this, but mentally they've got doubts, and you could see that because whenever they got the chance, they had the chances, but they could not open the door at that time, and India kept on shutting the door back.
Right, Atul, and just to follow up on what Kritsveen was saying earlier as well, just some of the reactions also that we were playing for our viewers earlier. Perhaps it's time for Pakistan to take a cold, hard look at what they're doing wrong, and there's time to regroup and recalibrate here. So would you then say that it's also more about temperament under pressure than just talent on paper?
Yeah, literally going impatient because Atul, we saw they were literally chasing. From the word go, it looked like they're chasing a 250 target, which wasn't supposed to be the case.
Well, what Pakistan is doing wrong, I think we can discuss it till the cows come home. They have to start thinking what they're doing right. Just not in cricket, everything. And I think this whole timeline of right up to the match, they brought this ignominy on themselves. And I think I feel sorry for the players because they've been used and abused by the regime. And cricket has been weaponized in Pakistan. I mean, that's we saw. And they shouldn't have gone down this road. Unless you know that you can deliver and you play. I think the only way to redeem themselves for the generals and for the political regime and PCB chief was for Pakistan to win. And the boys had more than cricket on their plate. And I think the pressure was brought on by the shenanigans, by what the head honchos did, and the players had to pay the price.
And to begin with, like everyone's expectations were set, on Abhishek, and that one wicket came off as a little bit of a heartbreak early in the game. Vineet Ramakrishnan from Cricket Next is with us. Good morning, Vineet. And the comeback made by Ishan Kishan has really been the headline. It's been the story of the match. He was awarded the player of the match as well. If it were not for him, do you anticipate, and this is again just for the sake of a conversation, would you anticipate the story not looking like it does this morning?
Well, good morning to all. And look, you talk about walking the talk. Pakistan seldom do that, right? And that's what happened. And you talked about Ishan Kishan. Yes, his innings was the defining innings of that match. 77 of just 40 balls on a pitch. It was, it wasn't really treacherous, but also was not easy to bat on also. And his innings was the defining one. And you asked whether that innings, if he had played, would have made any difference. Look, the eventual, the margin of victory was 61 runs. So if it was not for Ishan Kishan, somebody would have. Even India managed to around 120, 140. Pakistan would have been under real pressure, as Atul Hasan sir really said that. They were so much under pressure that even if it was not Ishan Kishan, anybody else could have come up. In the first 6 overs itself, they were blown away by the kind of bowling that India did in. So yeah, Ishan Kishan, it was a redemption arc complete for him. After being kind of exiled for 2 years, out of this BCCI central contract. So kudos to him. Great innings under pressure. You can add it to the lines of the Srishant catch or Joginder Sharma final over, Virat Kohli's MCG 6. Add one more India moment to that India-Pakistan rivalry. But yeah, it would not have really mattered. Even if India pushed their total to 120, 140, Pakistan would not have been able to chase down right from the start. You win the toss, you opt to bowl when there's no dew or nothing at the Premadasa. You generally want to bat first. So everything was pretty much, there for Pakistan. They were under pressure right from the very moment itself. The only thing they won was the toss. And apart from that, everything just got dismantled for them. Even their PCB chairman, Mohsin Naqvi, who was talking all about bravado and everything, had to, just scoot out in the middle of the match itself. Not really, waiting for that embarrassment of that India victory as well. So he had to scoot out, and Pakistan fans, of course, in the meltdown. And as I said, walking the talk is not something you associate with Pakistan now.
Right, and Christine, in fact, I want to talk about this as well. Mohsin Naqvi also walking out. We really have to talk about what it does to the players and their psyche as well. Vineet, remember we were talking about this in the weeks in the lead up to this match as well. All that hue and cry only to be left red-faced on the field. It really goes to show that perhaps it's a matter of misplaced priorities also, and there's some recalibration required there.
Always, it was always about misproportionate or misaligned priorities there. Mohsin Naqvi is not just the PCB chair; he's also the interior minister, so he has a larger kind of look at things. And of course, him being there, just leaving. In the middle of the match. By the 12th over, he went out, when Pakistan's 5th wicket went down. So there were still 8 overs left. So anybody, even Pakistan's would have had a sliver of hope that it can be turned around or not. But Mohsin Naqvi ran out of patience, so to speak. And yeah, you talked about morale as well. Definitely, this video has gone viral. Pakistan fans would not be happy. Even the Pakistan players would be watching this viral video and thinking, their own chairman isn't really, trusting them, and he walks out of the stadium itself. Remember, Pakistan are still not out of the competition. They still have one game, Namibia game to play, and maybe they may qualify for the Super 8s. But then again, from a morale perspective, as you mentioned, if the players get to know about it, they would get to know about it. The morale wouldn't be the greatest in that camp as well, looking at their own head really not trusting them and trying to scoot away in the middle of the match. And not even at the final stages. It was actually the middle of the Pakistan innings, the 12th over, that he just, said, I'm done with it. My patience has run out.
Yeah. You just spoke of the toss and how that's possibly the only thing that they got right. But Atul, was the decision that followed right enough? Because a lot of experts have weighed in on this. Pakistan has not had a great history with the chase.
With what?
With chasing the total set by
because so you could see that.
Let's talk about the T20 World Cup against India the last time around.
But let's give a compliment where it's due. I think Pakistan did everything right. They won the toss and they did what needed to be done, and I appreciated that, because they knew that to chase, the history is not on their side. We know that they're not very confident. They have just imploded so many times. But he took that hard call. And then he did the right call to come up and bowl himself. So I thought, no, this is what they're doing right. But after that, it just went downhill. When you focus, everybody was focusing too much on Abhishek. And I, at one point, was saying that in T20 game, just talking about one player, he's done well, yes. But that is disrespecting the other team. Because in T20, there's more chance of getting out, because you have to throw the bat and everything. And I think once you get going, you will get runs. A good player will more often than not. And I think the sum total of our parts is much greater than the total, as they say. Because, even when we were 77 for 6 against USA, we found Surya Kumar Yadav. So there's always been somebody raising the hand and coming. And that is a sign of a good team. Pakistan didn't have it. Once they thought that, it's just me left. And is all for one and one for all. That feeling you could see is lacking in Pakistan. So if, ashes to ashes, dust to dust, if Abhishek didn't get you, Ishan must.
I mean, for instance, putting Tilak Verma and Rinku Singh to test with bowling and also bagging a wicket, possibly two, if the other catch was not missed out on. So I think there were too many reasons for the fans to be cheering yesterday.
No, that's a good point you brought in, because that was just what Surya Kumar Yadav was doing, was rubbing it in. That's what we call it. In cricket, we thought, okay, let me bring on my, cavalry now, because, we are too good for you. You don't need Bumrah or Varun Chakravarti to come on. I'll bring on my other guys and just rub it in while I'm at it.
I also see Vineet slightly smiling to that. So I think all of us are in agreement to how great a card that was, which was pulled out by Team India and possibly Sky. Thank you so much, Atul. Thank you, Vineet, for joining in this morning.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on now, as the India AI Impact Summit kicks off in Delhi starting today, the focus is shifting to real questions around adoption, innovation and accountability.
Where does India truly stand in the global AI race? Are startups building something original, or are they simply adapting what already exists? And what parts of AI are changing the way businesses actually work?
To unpack the hype and the hard realities, we are being joined by Aman Goyal, co-founder of Grey Labs AI. Hi there, good morning, Aman. Hope you're doing well. Everyone is talking about AI adoption. Now today with the AI India Summit, kick-starting officially, what are you looking forward to the most?
I think India is catching up rapidly with the Western world, with some of the groundbreaking models coming up from India. I would be very curious once we as a country progress towards building AI for Bharat rather than just English and Hindi languages. So India is a diverse country with so many languages, and almost all companies, all language models, they are designed for English and Hindi as the language. But now I feel that every single Indian citizen can get a positive impact in their life with AI once they start conversing with the technology in their language. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Right, and when we talk about AI adoption, there may be some perhaps who still aren't able to grasp how seamlessly it is already being integrated. What would you say most perhaps get fundamentally wrong about AI?
So I think the thing is, it's, yes, you are right. It's already a part of our life, right? We all have been using Google search for a long time, and that's a form of artificial intelligence happening already. So indirectly, yes, we are all impacted by AI already. The difference is that the generative AI, which practically was brought to our lives in November of 2022 with the launch of ChatGPT, and that created a new era of AI for the industry. So that many people are yet to experience. And secondly, whenever people will experience it, whenever anyone experiences it, they find it nothing short of magical. So that magic will happen very soon.
Okay, so magic is one, regulation, Aman, is the other keyword attached to the AI story. What does responsible AI actually look like in execution as per you?
Well, it's an interesting question. I think see, ChatGPT recently launched ads on the platform, and the whole social media was heated up talking about it. So I think, see, some people call that, let's say, irresponsible, because they are saying that AI is using my data, my information, my context to show me ads. That's a breach of privacy. I was reading a very interesting post on Reddit. Some job applicant, he was interviewing for a company, and they asked him to share his screen, open up ChatGPT, and asked him to type, what do you know about my personality traits which will be useful for a prospective employer? Now think about it, a company asking a job applicant to prompt into ChatGPT very personal questions about the candidate so that they can gather information about the candidate. So somewhere the boundary is a little, blurred, and these things are borderline breach of privacy. So I think responsible AI means building AI in such a manner that it does good for the world and not used in a cunning way which makes people feel bad about it. Let's see how it pans out.
Absolutely, it's going to be a wait and watch game, especially since we're such in nascent stages of adoption and innovation as well. But that being said, you mentioned ChatGPT. Are we overestimating generative AI and perhaps underestimating other AI applications?
I think we are underestimating the impact of generative AI. Call centers are a very good example. There are about 7 lakh people employed in this industry, which this industry is up for disruption. We all saw what happened to the IT services stock prices recently after the launch of some models from Anthropic. So I feel that we are underestimating. It will impact our lives in a very big way, and it's happening in next 3 to 5 years. Already, I'm hearing, I recently read an article that in Spotify, they have not written a single line of code from, no developer has written a single line of code. All of the code has been written with AI. So just think about it, right? I did a BTech in computer science from IIT Bombay, one of the most reputed colleges of the country. And all my programming skills will become obsolete very soon. So the impact will be much, much bigger than what we are estimating, is what I feel.
That's a very valid point. Interesting point that you make, Aman. What then is the biggest AI bubble narrative you think, which is likely to see a collapse in the next 2 to 3 years, let's say?
See, honestly, I was a big believer of crypto bubble, and I'm still a believer of that. and we all know that crypto was more hype than what it happened actually. But for AI, I don't see that as a bubble. So I don't see that AI bubble bursting. Yes, the adoption has been slow, but if you look at the pace at which new models are becoming better and better, sooner or later, it's going to create a massive impact. So personally, I don't think it's a bubble at all.
Okay, thank you, Aman, for joining us with your insights on what you're really looking forward to as far as the AI summit in New Delhi is concerned. Thank you for joining us this morning. Speaking of which, we have breaking news just coming in. As far as the AI Impact Summit is concerned, officially, remember, the Prime Minister is going to be inaugurating the same, and the Prime Minister has taken to social media. He says, and I quote him here, "It is a matter of immense pride for us that people from all over the world are coming to India for the India AI Impact Summit. This also shows the capability of our country's youth. This occasion is further proof that our country is progressing rapidly in the field of science and technology and is making an important contribution to the global development," unquote.
All right, for more on this, we have Siddhant Mishra live with us. Thank you so much for joining us on the show, Siddhant. What's your assessment of what we can expect through the course of the day as the AI Impact Summit gets underway?
Well, it's indeed a very big day for India because there has only been 3 AI summits so far: London, UK, South Korea, France, and now India. So, it's definitely a great initiative by Prime Minister Modi. In fact, last year, Prime Minister Modi participated, or rather co-hosted AI Summit with President Macron in Paris. And in fact, this year, at that time only, he announced that the next AI Summit will be hosted by India. And today, the AI Summit in New Delhi will commence. There are many dignitaries, 20 world leaders will be traveling to India. Out of them, 9 are from Global South. 45 delegations will be in India for next 4 days. Out of them, 35, more than 30 are from the Global South. So this is perhaps for the first time that AI summit is taking place in Global South. So Prime Minister, each time around, whenever he is abroad, he talks about the concerns of the countries from Global South, their priorities, etc., etc. So this particular summit, is an attempt to write a rule book for the countries from the Global South. So Global South should not only be seen as a group which consumes technology, which consumes technology, which is a market for these AI companies, applications, etc. Global South is also participant. Perhaps that's the message. That's the goal of Prime Minister Modi, and this is the reason that he has brought AI Summit to India, taking place for the first time in Global South.
Many thanks, Siddhant, for joining us with all those details. It's a story we're tracking very closely here on CNN News 18. With that, it's time for us to head into a very quick break. We'll be right back with lots more in just a bit. Keep watching.
This is News 18 Network. India's largest news network.
Shifting our focus to the AI Impact Summit now, viewers. India is hosting the India AI Impact Summit 2026 in New Delhi from today until February 20th. The summit is anchored in 3 core sutras: people, planet and progress, which define India's approach to global cooperation on artificial intelligence. The event will bring...
This is News 18 Network. India's largest news network.
Now we're just getting a breaking news where Mohsin Naqvi's mid-game exit draws attention. Now, during the India-Pakistan clash, the PCB chairman and the Pakistan Interior Minister Mohsin Naqvi was seen leaving the R. Premadasa Stadium early during Pakistan's batting collapse against India in the T20 World Cup. Now, a video of Naqvi's exit went viral on social media, though no official reason has been given for his early departure yet. Now, India set a competitive score of 175-7 after opting to bat first. Now, we are joined by CNN News 18's Vineet Ramakrishnan. Vineet, very good morning to you and thank you for joining us. Now, Mohsin Naqvi holds a dual position. He's also the PCB chairman and the interior minister. So what kind of message does that send when he left on such a high-profile match, right when Pakistan's batting started collapsing?
Well, Mohsin Naqvi's mid-game exit now has kind of become a defining visual of this India-Pakistan clash. The PCB chairman, as you mentioned, he's also the interior minister, leaving R. Premadasa Stadium as early as the 12th over, right after Mohammad Nawaz fell and Pakistan slumped to 72 for 5. And from that point onwards, there was no, turning back for Pakistan. Pretty much summed up the game itself. Pakistan really, an embarrassing defeat for them, a huge defeat. And also, it kind of seemed that the Naqvi's patience also ran out and doesn't really look well as well. And as I said, it was an embarrassing defeat, losing by 61 runs, the biggest margin in India-Pakistan encounters. And you have to look back at what Mohsin Naqvi's antics were throughout, the week-long boycott, thread drama and everything that was surrounding it. The global attention was in a way on Naqvi. So Naqvi leaving is no surprise because all the cameras and everything was, aimed at him. And with the kind of performance that Pakistan put out, anybody would just walk out of it. And eventually, I think Naqvi's patience ran out. And as I mentioned, as early as the 12th over, there were still 8 overs remaining, but he left as early as the 8th over. And as I mentioned, it was embarrassing, not just for the Pakistan fans, but also for the PCB chairman and the Interior Minister of Pakistan, who created all this hubris around the boycott threat and the saga. So clearly his patience running out with his team as well.
Right. Now, the video of him leaving the stadium quickly went viral within minutes. Now, how does that, do you think that affected the morale of the team as well as the fans?
Well, to be honest, the team players would not even have noticed that Mohsin Naqvi had gone because the Premadasa, everybody was there in the VIP enclosures, and the morale of the team within Pakistan was, the team itself was down and out in the first 6 overs of their chase. They lost 4 wickets, their top order completely blown away in those first 6 overs itself. There was lack of clarity in terms of how Pakistan went about the game in itself, winning the toss and opting to bowl first on when many experts believe that you needed to bat first. And again, the manner in which they started that stiff chase of 176, just trying gung-ho every ball and losing wickets. So morale of the side was eventually, it was not there at all to start off with, right when they started. So they would not have really noticed, Naqvi's exit. But then again, from a social media point of view, from a Pakistan fans' perspective, those kind of visuals would not be going down well with the Pakistan fans. Also, even for the players, once they would have realized that their chairman, their, interior minister is not there at the end of the game, that morale would also be, down for the players as well. During the game might not have affected much, but after this, as you mentioned, the social media, in the social media, the video had gone viral. They will be talking about it a lot more. Pakistan fans would be talking about it. The players would also get to know about it. So, yeah, overall, their morale would be down. Remember, Pakistan are still not out of the tournament. They still have 1 game to go against Namibia, and they need to win this if they need to have any chance in the Super 8. And to see that their own, chairman leaving the game, not even sitting there to complete the game, most definitely, as you mentioned, the morale would be down for the players as well once they see the video, and realize that, something of this sort had happened.
Right. Now, would it help the PCB to issue a clarification? Because it could have been a routine exit or something, probably something came up. So would it help their case if they come out and give an official clarification, regardless of whatever the intent may be?
It could help. It could help. It doesn't really require an official confirmation if there is a communication between the Pakistan players and, Mohsin Naqvi saying that, okay, there was something, that was going, so he had to leave. Remember, Naqvi had came in specifically for this game. We had reported, and a lot of media also was reporting that there could be a possibility of a meeting with, the ICC chair Jesha and others as well, because of whatever had happened, leading up to the game as well. So that meeting would have been done. But as you mentioned, yes, it would be great that if a communication could happen between Naqvi and the players, but an official one or a public statement is very unlikely on this matter.
Right. Thank you, Vineet, for joining in and sharing your crucial input with us. Now, CNN News 18's Shivani Gupta breaks down the match and the key factors that went into India's favour last night. Listen in.
It was indeed a consummate performance from the Indian team. There was absolutely no question marks over their performance today. Yes, they lost a couple of
Welcome back. Thank you so much for staying with us. Here's what we're bringing for you right now. The war of words ahead of Tamil Nadu polls is escalating as the race heats up further. Udayanithi has indirectly hit out at Vijay, saying that there are a few parties formed without ideologies. They only tend to make noise.
யாருக்கும் எந்த பயனும் இல்லாம ஒரு கோஷ்டி சுத்திட்டு இருக்கு. வெறும் சத்தம், ஒரு கொள்கை, லட்சியம், ஒரு கோட்பாடு எதுவுமே இல்லாம அப்படின்னா என்னன்னே தெரியாம ஒரு கூட்டம் சுத்திட்டு இருக்கு. அரசியல்னா ஏதோ என்டர்டைன்மெண்ட் நினைச்சிட்டு இருக்காங்க. அவங்களுக்கு இளைஞர் தலைவர்கள் நீங்க சொல்லணும், அரசியல்னா மக்கள் பணினா என்டர்டைன்மெண்ட் கிடையாது, அது ஒரு கமிட்மெண்ட், அது ஒரு டெடிகேஷன் என்பதை நாம திமுக இளைஞர் தமிழ் நம்ம ப்ரூவ் பண்ணி காட்ட வேண்டும். இந்த கமிட்மெண்ட்டும் டெடிகேஷனும் இல்லாத அந்த கூட்டத்தை வச்சுக்கிட்டு யாராலையும் எதுவும் சாதிக்க முடியாது. ஆகவே இப்படி பாசிஸ்டுகளையும் பழைய புதிய அடிமைகளையும் வீழ்த்த வேண்டிய பொறுப்பு இங்க வந்திருக்கக்கூடிய இளைஞர் தமிழ்மார்கள்.
Purnima Murli joins us with more details. Good morning, Purnima. Purnima, very recently, Vijay has made huge claims of being DMK's sole competitor. Having said that, we're seeing this kind of a back and forth between the TVK and the DMK on an everyday basis. Give us a sense of what election issues is the TVK really fighting these elections on, since that's the pointed criticism coming in from Udayanithi.
Well, Vijay and the TVK time and again talk about these issues. One, of course, is lawlessness in the state, concerns around women's safety, increase in drug sales and drug usage amongst youngsters. These are some of the issues that Vijay and the TVK have raised. These are the narratives that the TVK is going to take forward during its campaign as well. However, the criticism that not just the DMK, even the opposition party here, the AIDMK, say is that it's a party without an ideology. Yes, there are huge crowds to see a star, but politics is not entertainment, and a politician should be dedicated, and that's something that is required of a politician. Indirectly hitting out at Vijay and the Tamil Nadu Vetrikaragam, saying that politics is not entertainment. The punch dialogues will not really work in favor of the party. So DMK and the AIDMK both hitting out at Vijay and the Tamil Nadu Vetrikaragam. Tamil Nadu is going to see a tri-corner contest. Vijay is the X factor. We'll have to wait and see how much will Vijay be able to secure this time.
Purnima, stay on with us. There's more breaking news coming in from Tamil Nadu. This is the latest coming in from AIDMK. AIDMK taking a jibe over DMK versus Congress. The AIDMK leader, Kovai Satyan, has said as an ally, Congress respect has been lost long back despite repeated signals and attempts, and forming a committee for almost 45 days. If the DMK is not given in to Congress's requests, it clearly shows they are in the wrong place. This alliance is done and dusted. The cracks are wide open, he says.
As an ally, their respect is lost long back. Despite repeated signals, repeated attempts, forming a committee almost 45 days, if DMK has not listened to any of their requests, nor heeded to their requests, clearly shows that they are in the wrong place. Rather than talking about broad statements and making viler statements, if there is an iota of self-respect left with Congress, they should have left the ally long back. But having said that, this ally is done and dusted. The cracks are wide open now, and it has started resonating on the ground itself. So DMK and Congress, even if they were to form a compromising ally in the coming days, there will be no positive results on the ground because the cadres are divided clearly.
All right. Purnima, thank you so much for staying on with us. Purnima, that's exactly what you were saying earlier. This is going to be a three-cornered contest. If we were to talk about the TVK, many would say that the way that has been trying to mobilize the people, it only reflects naivety and inflexibility on part of the TVK. And then when we talk about the DMK and the Congress, is talking about the cracks which are starting to emerge, which are hard to ignore at this point. That being said, how would you say all three are placed at this point?
Well, DMK and Congress certainly will continue its alliance for 2026. Yes, there have been cracks between the DMK and the Congress, and there were speculations about TVK Congress possibility as well. However, we've seen Congress leaders also openly attacking the DMK, especially Manikam Tagore, but he has also made it clear yesterday that DMK and Congress will form an alliance. Yes, there's been a delay in terms of seat sharing talks, but the opposition parties, especially Edappadi Palanisamy, the AIADMK General Secretary, hits out at the DMK Congress alliance, says that the Congress is made to wait, and that's not all is well between the two alliance partners. So that's been one of the issues that the AIADMK continues to reiterate about the delay in seat sharing talks between the DMK and the Congress, while Congress leaders openly are not happy with the DMK. So this is being highlighted by the AIADMK, including Edappadi Palanisamy.
All right, Purnima. Well, thank you so much for bringing us the latest on this. Of course, we're going to have to keep a track on all the developments on that front as well. And with that, we're going to slip into a very short break. But don't go anywhere. News and updates will continue on the other side.
This is News 18 Network. India's largest news network.
Now we're just getting a breaking news where Mohsin Naqvi's mid-game exit draws attention. Now during the India-Pakistan clash, the PCB chairman and the Pakistan Interior Minister Mohsin Naqvi was seen leaving the R. Premadasa Stadium early during Pakistan's batting collapse against India in the T20 World Cup. Now a video of Naqvi's exit went viral on social media, though no official reason has been given for his early departure yet. Now, India set a competitive score of 175-7 after opting to bat first. Now, we are joined by CNN News 18's Vineet Ramakrishnan. Vineet, very good morning to you and thank you for joining us. Now, Mohsin Naqvi holds a dual position. He's also the PCB chairman and the interior minister. So what kind of message does that send when he left on such a high-profile match, right when Pakistan's batting started collapsing?
Well, Mohsin Naqvi's mid-game exit now has kind of become a defining visual of this India-Pakistan clash. The PCB chairman, as you mentioned, he's also the interior minister, leaving R. Premadasa Stadium as early as the 12th over, right after Mohammad Nawaz fell and Pakistan slumped to 72 for 5. And from that point onwards, there was no, turning back for Pakistan. Pretty much summed up the game itself. Pakistan really, an embarrassing defeat for them, a huge defeat. And also, I mean, it kind of seemed that the Naqvi's patience also ran out and doesn't really look well as well. And as I said, it was an embarrassing defeat, losing by 61 runs, the biggest margin in India-Pakistan encounters. And you have to look back at what Mohsin Naqvi's antics were throughout, the week-long boycott, thread drama and everything that was surrounding it. The global attention was in a way on Naqvi. So Naqvi leaving is no surprise because all the cameras and everything was, aimed at him. And with the kind of performance that Pakistan put out, anybody would just walk out of it. And eventually, I think Naqvi's patience ran out. And as I mentioned, as early as the 12th over, there were still 8 overs remaining, but he left as early as the 8th over. And as I mentioned, it was embarrassing, not just for the Pakistan fans, but also for the PCB chairman and the interior minister.
All right, welcome back. Thank you so much for staying with us. Now, here's a quick look at all the other stories from India and across the globe which have been making headlines. Let's just quickly take you through these. A BMW car rammed into an auto rickshaw near Melappuram in Kanyakumari district, injuring the driver, 36-year-old Jagan, who suffered a fractured leg. CCTV footage shows the car speeding and throwing the auto aside before being locked at the scene. Witnesses claim the driver was under the influence of alcohol and transferred liquor bottles to another vehicle before fleeing. Jagan was rescued by locals and admitted to a private hospital.
Another CCTV footage is surfaced in the Azad Nagar blast case in Bhubaneswar. The visuals show a bomb exploding as it was allegedly being hurled from a rooftop in the Sundarpada Azad Nagar area. Mother and a son unfortunately lost their lives in the blast, while 2 others are undergoing treatment as we speak. We also reported this incident earlier and investigations are currently underway.
Supporters of Cuba gathered outside the Cuban embassy in Mexico City, protesting what they call the United States oil blockade. Demonstrators waved flags, raised slogans saying fuel restrictions are deepening Cuba's economic crisis. Cuban officials thanked Mexico for standing in solidarity as the Donald Trump administration continues to tighten pressure on Havana.
Images of the USS Abraham Lincoln Carrier Strike Group have been released as the United States prepares for possible military action against Iran. The move comes amid diplomatic talks in Geneva mediated by Oman. President Donald Trump says all options are on the table as Washington boosts its military presence in the Middle East.
And so Ali Khan delighted fans by sharing a glimpse of her Mahashivratri celebrations. The actress posted a video from an intimate family puja where she was seen performing rituals. Her daughter also joined in, adding a heartwarming touch with a simple happy Mahashivratri caption. She spread festive cheer.
And actor Akshay Kumar is spinning up a major success on television with the reality game show Wheel of Fortune. Originally planned as a limited series of around 40 episodes, the show has now been extended due to its strong audience response. As per reports, Akshay's association with the show has been expanded by 25 additional episodes, taking the total count to 65. The makers made the decision after witnessing the growing popularity and steady viewership of the show. With this extension, Wheel of Fortune continues to solidify its position as a fan favorite on television.
A late-night auto ride in Mumbai turned distressing for actor-model Priya Bakshi, who shared her experience on social media. Bakshi, who made a Bollywood debut with JNU, directed by Vinay Sharma, posted a video showing her asking an auto driver to stop the vehicle. And according as per her account, while returning home from Bandra late at night, the driver allegedly took a route she did not recognize and then continued to ignore her repeated request to halt the ride, leaving her shaken.
Sabha Patodi delighted fans with a nostalgic birthday post for Ranbir Kapoor, sharing a rare, unseen photograph from his wedding to Babita. The black and white throwback image captured the couple on their wedding day dressed in traditional attire, offering a cherished glimpse into the Kapoor family's archives. Alongside the vintage photograph, Sabha penned a heartfelt note wishing Ranbir a happy birthday and also reminiscing about treasured memories. She also shared additional family pictures featuring her father and siblings, adding to the wave of nostalgia that quickly won over fans online.
Filmmaker Imtiaz Ali and producer Ekta Kapoor are reuniting after 8 years for a new romantic saga, Heer Ranjha, following their earlier collaboration on Laila Majnu. According to reports, actor Rohit Saraf is likely to step into the iconic role of Ranjha, although an official confirmation is still awaited. The 29-year-old, known for projects like Ishq Vish, Rebound, Mismatched and other films, is said to be taking on one of the most intense roles of his career. Meanwhile, the makers are expected to introduce a newcomer as Heer, adding fresh energy to this timeless love story.
Hollywood legend Steven Spielberg and his wife Kate Capshaw have donated $50,000 to GoFundMe fundraiser set up for Kimberly Van Der Beek following the death of her husband James, who passed away after battling colorectal cancer on the 11th of February. The fundraiser, initiated by the Friends of Kimberly, had an initial goal of $250,000 but quickly exceeded expectations thanks to the generous contributions from Hollywood peers and fans alike, reflecting the support and love for the late actor's family.
And Wuthering Heights has taken the top spot at the Friday box office, outperforming new releases Goat and Crime 101, directed by Emerald Fennell. The adaptation earned an impressive $11 million from 3,682 theatres across North America on opening day. Industry estimates suggest the film could collect up to $40 million domestically over the extended President's Day weekend, with another projected $40 million internationally. The $80 million gothic romance is off to a powerful global start.
And keeping up with the world of entertainment, Zayn Malik has sparked fresh debate after making a candid confession about his past relationship with Gigi Hadid. Reflecting on how his view of love has changed, the singer's remarks quickly went viral.
Now, Zayn and Gigi dated on and off from 2015 to 2021 and share a daughter, Kai. While some fans see his comments as honest growth, others feel certain reflections should remain perhaps in the drafts, reigniting online discussion about their highly publicized romance.
Celebrity relationships rarely end quietly, especially when they unfold in the public eye. And sometimes, even years later, a single comment can reopen old wounds. Zayn Malik's recent podcast appearance has done exactly that. Reflecting on his past, he questioned whether he had ever truly been in love, a remark that immediately brought his relationship with Gigi Hadid back into the spotlight. It began with a seemingly introspective comment, but it quickly turned into one of the biggest celebrity debates online. On a recent episode of the Call Her Daddy podcast, Zayn Malik made headlines by revisiting a remark he previously made that he's not sure he was ever truly in love with his ex-partner Gigi Hadid. While he acknowledged that he will always love and respect her, calling her the reason his child is on this earth, he said what he felt at that time might have been passion or lust, not love. That one sentence was all the internet needed. Within hours, social media platforms exploded. On X, users labelled his words tone-deaf and humiliating, with many pointing out how unusual or insensitive it sounded to publicly reassess an entire long-term relationship years later. Some posts even speculated on Zayn's motives, suggesting that revisiting old statements might tie into recent music promotion. Though others defended him, saying it's normal for people to reflect on past emotions differently as they grow. Zayn Malik and Gigi Hadid went public with their relationship in 2015, shortly after he parted ways with One Direction. What followed was a highly publicized on-again, off-again romance that spanned nearly 6 years. Despite the ups and downs, the couple welcomed their daughter Kai in 2020 before eventually calling it quits in 2021. Since then, the pair have co-parented amicably. But even years later, dissecting their emotional past on a public platform triggered intense reactions because in the age of social media, every reflection becomes instant fodder for judgment. And right now, the internet is not holding back. Was Zayn's comment insensitive? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below and do not forget to subscribe to Shosha for more trending stories.
Alright, and Bollywood stars celebrated Valentine's Day with heartfelt tributes and romantic gestures all on social media. Of course, Kareena Kapoor Khan, Ajay Devgan, Shilpa Shetty, others shared loving moments with their partners.
Hollywood celebrities like Nick Jonas, Priyanka Chopra, David Victoria Beckham, Dua Lipa all joined these celebrations. We get you more in this report.
Bollywood thrives on grand gestures and timeless romance. And what better occasion than Valentine's Day for celebrities to go all out while celebrating their partners? As the world marked the Day of Love on Saturday, B-Town stars led the way, openly expressing their affection for their partners. The Queen of Bollywood, Kareena Kapoor Khan, shared sweet moments from a recent public appearance with husband Saif Ali Khan on social media, captioning the post, "Always you, always us, happy Valentine's Day." Ajay Devgan chose nostalgia to mark the occasion. The actor shared a throwback video, sweetly asking his better half Kajol if she would be his Valentine. Shilpa Shetty shared a picture with husband Raj Kundra, in which the couple recreated the iconic Titanic pose. Ananya Pandey wished her rumored boyfriend Walker Blanco, who happens to celebrate his birthday on Valentine's Day. What a coincidence, right? Then we have Kriti Kharbanda, who shared a stunning picture with husband Pulkit Samrat. Bipasha Basu delighted fans with a candid video featuring husband Karan Singh Grover. Nayanthara also shared a heartfelt wish for husband Vignesh Shivan, posting a series of candid pictures that spoke volumes about their bond. Randeep Hooda marked the day by sharing a sweet photograph with his wife Lind Laishram. Moving to Hollywood, stars celebrated the spirit of love in their own unique style. Nick Jonas showered love on wife Priyanka Chopra, calling her his forever Valentine as he shared unseen moments from their wedding video. David Beckham and Victoria Beckham turned back the clock, revisiting moments from their storied romance as they celebrated Valentine's Day together. Dua Lipa and Callum Turner opted for a red carpet date night, attending the Berlin premiere of his new film Rosebush Pruning. Meanwhile, Nicole Kidman, who recently finalized her divorce from Keith Urban, chose to celebrate a little differently this year by wishing her Instagram followers happy Galentines. All in all, it was a beautiful day dedicated to love and romance. Now you tell us, how did you celebrate your Valentine's Day?
Well, that's all for today, but we want to leave you with this heartwarming story. 10-month-old baby Alan Sharon Abraham becomes the youngest organ donor in Kerala. The 10-month-old baby will give new life to 5 people through organ donation. The organs of their 10-month-old daughter were donated by the father, Arun Abraham, and mother, Shireen and John, at Amrita Hospital in Ernakulam. The donated organs were a liver, 2 kidneys, a heart valve, and 2 eyeballs.
Now, the liver will be given to a 6-month-old baby undergoing treatment in Thiruvananthapuram. He is the youngest child to receive a liver through posthumous organ donation in the state. Health Minister Veena George expressed gratitude to the parents for this decision taken to save the lives of others despite their extreme grief that they're facing at this point. The minister also said that she shares the grief of the family. We're going to leave you with this one. Thank you so much for tuning in.
This is News 18 Network. India's largest news network.
Now we're just getting a breaking news where Mohsin Naqvi's mid-game exit draws attention. Now during the India-Pakistan clash, the PCB chairman and the Pakistan Interior Minister Mohsin Naqvi was seen leaving the R. Premadasa Stadium early during Pakistan's batting collapse against India in the T20 World Cup. Now a video of Naqvi's exit went viral on social media, though no official reason has been given for his early departure yet. Now, India set a competitive score of 175-7 after opting to bat first. Now, we are joined by CNN News 18's Vineet Ramakrishnan. Vineet, very good morning to you and thank you for joining us. Now, Mohsin Naqvi holds a dual position. He's also the PCB chairman and the interior minister. So what kind of message does that send when he left on such a high-profile match, right when Pakistan's batting started collapsing?
Well, Mohsin Naqvi's mid-game exit now has kind of become a defining visual of this India-Pakistan clash. The PCB chairman, as you mentioned, he's also the interior minister, leaving our Premadasa Stadium as early as the 12th over, right after Mohammad Nawaz fell and Pakistan slumped to 72 for 5. And from that point onwards, there was no, turning back for Pakistan. Pretty much summed up the game itself. Pakistan really, an embarrassing defeat for them, a huge defeat. And also, I mean, it kind of seemed that the Naqvi's patience also ran out and doesn't really look well as well. And as I said, it was an embarrassing defeat, losing by 61 runs, the biggest margin in India-Pakistan encounters. And you have to look back at what Mohsin Naqvi's antics were throughout, the week-long boycott, thread drama and everything that was surrounding it. The global attention was in a way on Naqvi. So Naqvi leaving is no surprise because all the cameras and everything was, aimed at him. And with the kind of performance that Pakistan put out, anybody would just walk out of it. And eventually, I think Naqvi's patience ran out. And as I mentioned, as early as the 12th over, there were still 8 overs remaining, but he left as early as the 8th over. And as I mentioned, it was embarrassing, not just for the Pakistan fans, but also for the PCB chairman and the interior minister of Pakistan, who created all this hubris around the boycott threat and the saga. So clearly his patience running out with his team as well.
Right. Now, the video of him leaving the stadium quickly went viral within minutes. Now, how does that, do you think that affected the morale of the team as well as the fans?
Well, to be honest, the team players would not even have noticed that Mohsin Naqvi had gone because the Premadasa, everybody was there in the VIP enclosures, and the morale of the team within Pakistan was, the team itself.
Hi there, good morning and a very warm welcome. Thanks for staying tuned to CNN News 18. I'm Kritsween Valia. Well, India's victory over Pakistan in the T20 World Cup yesterday is the big talking point across the country, and we're going to be breaking down that story. India crushing Pakistan, beating them by 61 runs. A masterful Dhurandhar display of batting and bowling leaves Pakistan stunned. Embarrassed by team's performance, PCB chief Mohsin Naqvi storms out mid-match even before India thrashes Pakistan. And meltdown in Pakistan after the crushing defeat. Fans and former cricketers troll the team mercilessly for their poor performance and dismal showing against India. In the meanwhile, Congress distances itself from Manishankar Ayyar's remarks, suggesting Pinarayi Vijayan as the next Chief Minister of Kerala says his comments do not reflect the party's official position. Supreme Court to review Sabrimala women's entry petitions today, reigniting political debate over centre's stance ahead of elections. Amid tussle between DMK and Congress over seat and power sharing talks, Congress MP Karti Chidambaram calls seat allocation complex, says cut the cake and share it too. India's landmark AI moment, Prime Minister Modi to inaugurate mega global tech summit in the national capital today, hosting top international innovators close to 5 p.m. And amid storm over Epstein files, Bill Gates to arrive in India will visit Andhra Pradesh and Karnataka and meet the chief ministers of both these states. Well, the stage may change, the dates may differ, but the results seem familiar. India have once again defeated Pakistan in the ICC Men's T20 World Cup. India posted 175 for 7, powered by Ishan Kishan's explosive 77 of just 40 balls. Pakistan chasing the target collapsed under pressure. They were bowled out for just 114 in 18 overs. The 61-run win is now India's biggest margin of victory over Pakistan in T20 International. Suryakumar Yadav's men have marched into the Super 8, once again tightening its grip on the high-voltage rivalry. In the meanwhile, the drama wasn't limited to the field. Mohsin Naqvi, who had earlier backed a hardline stance and was linked to a boycott talk around the clash, drew attention after he was seen clearly leaving the stadium during Pakistan's batting collapse. His early exit quickly became a talking point, adding to the optics of a night that slipped badly for Pakistan.
पाकिस्तान से जीतना मुझे लगता है बहुत बड़ी उपलब्धि है और मुझे आज कॉन्फिडेंस पूरा है कि जिस तरह से हमारे लड़के खेले हैं हम विश्व कप भी जीतेंगे। हमारे पास शुरू से ही कभी ईशान किशन चलते हैं, कभी अभिषेक चलते हैं, सिर्फ लड़के चलते हैं, तो हम लोगों के पास इतनी मजबूत टीम है कि विल डेफिनेटली विन द वर्ल्ड कप।
I do want to bring in Vineet Ramakrishnan of Cricket next into the conversation. Good morning, Vineet. You know, the entire country has been obsessed with the manner in which India stole this one, but the story is no different. We just spoke of how the venues may change, the dates may differ, the stage may be different, but the outcome has pretty much been the same. This one moment where Mohsin Naqvi could be seen walking away. Tell us a little bit about that. What did we exactly see there? Because it's being once again compared to him walking away with the Asia Cup trophy. Not very different.
Well, not very different. Good morning to you, Christine. But you know, at least in the Asia Cup, Mohsin Naqvi walked away with the Asia Cup trophy. Here, he had nothing else to take away apart from the embarrassment of what Pakistan's performance was. Down to, and yes, he left the stadium around the 12th over mark of Pakistan's innings. So not even like the end of the overs or end of the match where, you know, it was out of Pakistan's hand. And that in a way summed up Pakistan performance and summed up India's dominance as well. You know, 175 was always going to be a very stiff target to chase down. And India had Pakistan under the pump in the first 5 overs itself. Top 4 really blown away. And it pretty much tells you, you know, as you mentioned, irrespective of the venue change, irrespective of where they are playing, it is the gulf between the two teams, the skill set of what the Indian team has as compared to the Pakistan and counterparts as well. And as a team, they are far, far, far superior. And this game pretty much exemplified that. You know, all the talk was about Abhishek Sharma. The focus was on Abhishek Sharma. He got out for a duck, but it was Ishan Kishan who stepped up with the 77. And not just Ishan Kishan, beat Suryakumar Yadav with a 32 or a Tilak Verma, and even Shivam Dubey down the order, pushing that total to 175. The par score at Colombo is somewhere between 140 to 160. So to put it to 175, you know, it was a complete batting performance there. Yes, Ishan Kishan's innings was exceptional. And from a bowling perspective as well, you know, what is the most defining fact here is that it was to be a spin-friendly conditions, but you know, despite that fact, Pakistan bowled 18 overs of spin. They went for 175 runs. On the other hand, India, with Jasprit Bumrah and Hardik Pandya opening the bowling, they picked up 3 wickets and just did not give away anything, you know, giving a headway to the Indian spinners as well. So it was complete domination. Pakistan were really, you know, not really outclassed and outplayed. They just were not at the same level as Pakistan. And as you mentioned about the scoreline as well, it is 8-1 now, 8 victories to India in T20 World Cups in comparison to the 1 win that Pakistan notched up in 2022 T20 World Cup. Complete domination there. And as I said, the bottom line here is that this game, despite all the hype and all the intensity and all the buzz around it, it does not really translate into any competitive, you know, stuff on the field, because India just completely far, far superior in terms of skill set, in terms of a complete team. And Pakistan were completely under pressure. And Mohsin Naqvi's antics, you know, he was doing his antics before the game as well in terms of the boycott saga and everything. And whatever he did, you know, after the game or in the middle of the game, walking out, really not really helping Pakistan team's morale and his own.
Yeah, rather demoralizing them. And this does play with the psyche of any player. Remember, Pakistan is not out of the World Cup as yet. So how do you explain someone leading the team really pulling off this? Vineet, we'll come back to you in just a bit. This is what is happening on the internet in the meanwhile. A cake on the face moment. And do remember, these people are wearing Pakistan jerseys. Internet is obsessing over the manner in which India defeated Pakistan. And do remember, 175 has been the highest total so far set in a India-Pakistan T20 World Cup clash. That said, these are some of the videos that you're seeing go viral on the internet. So meme fest taking over, India crushing Pakistan in the manner in which they did. And here you have another visual set that we've picked up on social media. You see there people literally throwing slippers. There's a lot of kicking, thrashing happening, really display of anger that's being witnessed on part of these Pakistani fans. This is really the sentiment in Pakistan. And Vineet and I were also discussing this a little while earlier. There is so much anger, be it Pakistani fans, be it former cricketers. A lot of them have in fact, while adding to commentary post-match, have spoken vocally, very vocally, of how Pakistan needs to do some serious rethinking on how they need to improve their form. This is another visual set which is being spoken of by many netizens online, with the two captains, not facing each other but showing each other their back. And Surya Kumar Yadav, interestingly, is also the subject of a lot of these memes, and not at the receiving end of these memes. Remember, he's being lauded for roasting Pakistani players by just coming up with quirky comments. So that's what's playing out on the internet. Another tweet that we've pulled up for you. How can someone call it rivalry? And there's a scoreboard that they've pulled up on India-Pakistan clashes in the past, all from T20 World Cup. Remember, the score now stands at 8-1. 8 times India has crushed Pakistan, and on similar lines. So that's the scoreboard being pulled up by many. Release Imran Khan, arrest these 11 is another funny meme which possibly has been taken to social media by Pakistani fans. Trump mediating between India and Pakistan, because remember, on the scoreboard right now, India on top of the group, Pakistan plays 3. US, Pakistan have the same score, but the net run rate really putting US in a position of strength at the moment. So these are the kind of reactions coming in on social media. Let's talk about reactions of certain fans and what they've had to say. Listen in.
थोड़ा सा मुझे होप थी आज के टीम की, कुछ चेंजेस, कुछ फॉर्मेशन ऐसी थी, हमारे स्पिनर्स ऐसे थे कि मुझे लग रहा था कि हम फंसा लेंगे मैच को और एटलीस्ट एक फाइट देंगे. बट इट्स लाइक द सेम रूटीन मैटर. बुमराह के जवाब हमारे पास नहीं है, हार्दिक को हम फेस नहीं कर सकते. इट्स द सेम सिचुएशन. वेल प्लेड टीम इंडिया एज ऑलवेज. देखिए, अगर इस तरह की परफॉर्मेंस रहेगी तो मेरा नहीं ख्याल है इंडिया से हम कभी भी जीत सकते हैं. सही है, इंडिया की वर्किंग, इंडिया का होमवर्क हमेशा बहुत अच्छा होता है. और आज ना मैं यूजुअली बड़ा पॉजिटिव होता हूँ. आज मेरा दिल टूटा है. जिस तरह इतनी गंदी परफॉर्मेंस है कि मैं आज लिटरली सारे इंडियन क्राउड को वेव करके थम्स अप दे के आए होंगे. यार, वेल प्लेड, आपकी टीम बहुत अच्छी है.
भारत ने पाकिस्तान को फिर वही बच्चों की तरह हरा दिया है और सेम ओल्ड स्टोरी, सेम ओल्ड फेसेस. जब आप एक ही चीज के साथ आगे बढ़ते रहेंगे यार, आपने इम्प्रूवमेंट या डिफरेंट जो रिजल्ट्स हैं वो कैसे होंगे जब तक आप चेंज ही कुछ नहीं करेंगे. आपने एक बंदे को बाहर निकाला, रिजवान को, सारा कसूर उसका था, बाकी सारे ठीक कर रहे थे. कि आप यार बहाने ढूंढ रहे होते हैं लोगों को ले के आने के. आप अपने बच्चों की तरह मैच हारे हो यार. आपको इस तरह कि जिस तरह वो कोई भूल ही गया कि खेलना भी आता है यार.
यार, हर बार क्यों तकलीफ देते हो यार मुझे? हर बार क्यों दिल तोड़ते हो यार? तुमसे प्यार करता हूँ, प्यार करके आता हूँ यार. कभी तो जीतो करो यार. हमेशा उम्मीद लगा के आता हूँ और तुम उम्मीद तोड़ दो तो मेरी हमेशा. आज फिर से हार गए यार. क्यों यार? हमारी टीम कम नहीं है इंडिया से यार.
ये हालात है हमारी टीम के. इतनी गंदी टीम, एक और मैच हम हार गए हैं. ये हालात हैं जी. ये पढ़िए आपकी एलसीडी, ये पड़ा है आपका मैच. पाकिस्तान की टीम मैच हार चुकी है. इंडिया के हाथ एक दफा फिर जलील और रुसवा हो गई है.
एक रियलिटी चेक सुन लो. हमारी पाकिस्तान क्रिकेट टीम जो है ना, वो सिर्फ और सिर्फ इंस्टाग्राम स्टोरीज लगा सकती है. वो सिर्फ बड़ी बड़ी प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंसेस में बैठ के बातें कर सकते हैं. मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंटली, जिन प्लेयर्स से क्रिटिसिज्म बर्दाश्त नहीं होता, वो सिर्फ सोशल मीडिया के शेर बन सकते हैं. मैदान में वो गीदड़ बन जाते हैं. ये सिर्फ सोशल मीडिया के शेर हैं. जब बात असल में आती है टक्कर की, तब इनके ये हालात होते हैं. और वहाँ हम यहाँ पे उस्मान तारिक करी जा रहे थे. वहाँ पे इंडियन क्रिकेट टीम चुपचाप ये मैच 61 रन से जीत कर चली गई है. इंडियन क्रिकेट टीम का नेट रन रेट जाके उठा के देखो और पाकिस्तान क्रिकेट टीम के हालात देखो. बट बाबर आजम से तो ना पावर हिटिंग होती है व्हेनेवर द टीम नीड्स हिम, और ना ना ही उन भाई साहब से एंकरिंग होती है जब टीम को असल में उनकी एंकरिंग की जरूरत होती है। शादाब खान छोटी टीम्स के अगेंस्ट तो इनसे बेहतरीन ऑलराउंडर कोई है ही नहीं, लेकिन जब बात आती है बड़ी टीम्स की तो इन भाई साहब के हाथ पैर फूल जाते हैं।
शर्म आनी चाहिए आप लोगों को। प्रोफेशनल क्रिकेटर्स कहते हैं आप अपने आप को। 9-0 हो गया है, 9-0। मतलब पता है 9-0 का आपको? पाकिस्तान की क्रिकेट की हिस्ट्री का सबसे बदतरीन दिन था जब गलती से आपने वो 152 फॉर 0 कर दिया था। वो दिन है, आज का दिन है। देख लें आप परफॉर्मेंस। 9 मैचेस इन अ रो आ रहे हो आप, और फिर आप कहते हो ये राइवलरी है। मैच से पहले आपने इतनी बातें की है, इससे बेहतर था आप लोग बॉयकॉट रहते। कम से कम इज्जत तो रहती है आपकी। इतने आप लोगों ने भरम करवाए और परफॉर्मेंस क्या आपकी? भरम आपके सलमान खान जैसे हैं, परफॉर्मेंस आपकी राखी सावंत जैसी है।
So there you have angry Pakistani fans, hurling abuses, trolling the entire playing 11. So we've played out some of these reactions. Vineet continues to stay on with us. Vineet, it's not just limited to social media trolling. It's not just limited to India crushing Pakistan, given the several narratives surrounding this clash. It's also Pakistan's abysmal performance. Pakistanis were 3 down in the first 2 overs itself. Usman Khan, did score the highest, 44 runs, but it was too late by then to bounce back in the game.
Absolutely. The only thing that really worked for Pakistan was that they won the toss. And in my opinion, that was also a wrong decision to, chase. As you mentioned earlier at the Breakfast Club, that the last game, 2024, when they, played each other, Pakistan was under pressure so much that they were not even able to chase 119. So they are not really a good chasing side. They can't handle pressure. And despite the fact that they went ahead, opted to bowl first when they had the opportunity to chase. And as you mentioned, the game was done and dusted in the first 3 overs, 3 wickets down. And it is the manner in which all the 3 wickets fell. 175 on a Colombo track, you needed somebody, to play out, play a bit of, significant innings. Somebody like a Tilak Verma, at the start of it, you thought that he was not able to time his, innings well. But he hung around and Ishan Kishan was there at the other end. For Pakistan, everybody who came in, be it Shahizada Farhan or Salman Ali Agha or even Babar Azam, they just were trying to go for their shots. There was no clarity in planning. It was more of individual plans that they created rather than the team planning itself. And it all comes down to the fact that, the skill set. It is all about the skill set. You talked about the performance of the Pakistan team. Over the years, it's been, on the, downhill. And remember, leading up to this game, if you remember the very first game of the T20 World Cup, where they barely managed to, get a win over Netherlands. And Netherlands, an associate team, no disrespect to them, but if somebody like a Netherlands team can give Pakistan a run for their money, going up against like a formidable team like India, Pakistan never really had a chance. And it pretty much showed there, the skill set. It was a spin-friendly, spin-heavy bowling attack from Pakistan side. 18 overs of spin were sent down. Salman Ali Agha, the captain, said, it was an off day for spinners. But despite that fact, you went ahead and bowled 18 overs of spin. 2 overs of pace given away for 31 runs. In contrast, Indian pacers, Hardik Pandya, Jasprit Bumrah bowled 5 overs between them, not giving away more than 40 runs and picking up 4 wickets between them. And the Indian spinners, again, a level up. So in every aspect, India were far superior than Pakistan. Pakistan, unfortunately, look, the pressure of it, what Mohsin Naqvi was doing and everything surrounding it, the pressure got to them. And also the fact of the matter is that this Pakistan 11 is nowhere close to, India or any other, top team in terms of skill set. Be it a Babar Azam, we have talked about him a lot. There's been no good performance from him. Shaheen Shah Afridi gave you a performance some 4 years back, and that's about it. The seniors also not putting their hands up. The young guns, as you mentioned, only Usman Khan, the shining light there. But again, he did not have any support. But the bottom line, India far superior than Pakistan.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you one thing here. If there is one thing that Pakistan can compete with India, is probably the social media game when it comes to trolling Pakistan. They are very good at that, and that's about it.
Oh yes, and that's what's leading to many, not just in India, not just Indian fans, Pakistani fans also saying, how are you comparing Babar Azam really to King Kohli? He's 1/3 King Kohli in terms of performance at least. Stay on with us, Vineet. Let's talk about why this is disadvantaged Pakistan in ways more than one. Goes beyond just Pakistan losing to India in another T20 World Cup clash. Pakistan's boycott stunt also, remember, has failed completely. You attempted to boycott, made a U-turn, and that's what it's resulted in. You losing to India, and by a 61-run margin. Top 4 batsmen out for just 15 runs. Remember, we're talking about the top 3 going out in just 2 overs. 4 out in just 15 runs combined. So that's really where, as far as the performance barometer is concerned. Lost 8 out of 9 games to India in T20 World Cup, and that's why 8-1 record has been set by India. That's the poor showing consistently on Pakistan's part. Embarrassed PCB chief also left the match midway, as Vineet was also highlighting. Mohsin Naqvi, after seeing the batting order collapse the way it did, that Pakistan was not going to chase this no matter what, he walked off the stadium, adding to the embarrassment, and is again at the receiving end of a lot of criticism for this move. No handshake after the toss or post India's victory is also something that we saw, kind of repetition of what we'd already seen between the two teams at the Asia Cup. But Vineet continues to stay on with us. Vineet, there's reasons more than one for Pakistan to feel crushed, to feel demotivated, but their chances going forward have also diminished, isn't it? Next, they're playing against Namibia, but currently placed on the 3rd position. The United States is looking far better than Pakistan at the moment, at least.
Well, what this loss has really done in terms of victory margin for India, 61 runs has impacted Pakistan's net run rate, even though USA and Pakistan are equal on points. Because of the 61 run loss, Pakistan run rate has gone down to USA. Now, the only way Pakistan can move forward to Super 8 is to register a win against Namibia, which on paper should be an easy call, but as I mentioned, we saw how Netherlands really gave Pakistan a run for their money. And after such a demoralizing loss, Pakistan are known to implode. They lost to USA in the 2024 T20 World Cup as well. So anything can happen with this Pakistan side. So yeah, a win against Namibia would be very crucial for them to move to the Super 8. If not, USA would make it there. So yeah, more extra pressure on Pakistan. And also, talking about this match, what the kind of advantage that Pakistan had, unlike in Asia Cup where, they were crying about the fact that India were playing in Dubai, they knew the conditions and they had to travel to Dubai. Here, Pakistan was stationed in Colombo for 10 days. India had come in just 2 days back. So they knew the conditions better. They knew the kind of pitches that would, be there for them. So all the advantage they had, and yet they were not able to, exploit that advantage and, give India a run for their money. It was complete. It was as if India was stationed in Colombo for 10 days and Pakistan were coming here to play. They did not assess the situation. They did not assess the conditions, despite being there for 10 days. So it's not just about player, skill set. It is also about the management, the planning, and everything really going all over the place. And Mohsin Naqvi, what he did, leaving the match mid-match was kind of the defining moment. Also, one of those images that is going to do the rounds for a long while. Demoralizes it completely. As you mentioned, Namibia game becomes very crucial. They need a win. How are Pakistan going to bounce back when they see their own head of the state or their chairman, Mohsin Naqvi, really turning their back on the players, not even staying there for the entire match, probably giving some consolation or commiseration words for them. He did not do that. He just scooted away. So that will be really, really demoralizing for Salman Agha and his players. Yeah. But the bottom line is it's not the case where, skill set matches the hype.
And I think we're going to leave this past us and start focusing on what the World Cup looks like, the rest of the campaign looks like for Team India. It's been a splendid performance so far and hoping for the same to continue. Thank you so much, Vineet, for joining in this morning. While Ishan Kishan shone on the field with a match-winning performance, the celebrations were just as emotional at his own residence. Here's how his parents and his coach reacted to the big moment. Listen in.
भावना आज अंदर का कैसा था भारत पाकिस्तान के मैच को लेके?
नहीं, थोड़ा सा टेंस माहौल तो था ही लेकिन अब सब सही है, चीजें कंट्रोल में हैं।
आज ईशान किशन के इनिंग पर क्या बोलेंगे?
नहीं, अच्छा खेला उसने, अभी उसको थोड़ा, मेरे हिसाब से उसको थोड़ा और रुकना चाहिए था। अच्छा बैटिंग कर रहा था, तो जब वैसी बैटिंग है तो फिर और थोड़ा सा किया जा सकता था।
आज अपने बेटे से ऐसी पारी की उम्मीद थी?
हाँ, अभी अच्छा खेल रहा है, इसलिए हम लोग तो हमेशा ही भगवान से प्रे करते रहते हैं कि वो हर मैच में स्कोर करे, रन करे, और आज उसने किया तो बहुत अच्छा लगा हम लोग को, क्योंकि सारे लोगों की भावनाएं जुड़ी हुई हैं क्रिकेट से, तो इसमें अच्छा करने में तो अच्छा लगता है।
अच्छा, पाकिस्तान के जो मिस्ट्री बॉलर है उस्मान तारिक, आज जब वो बॉलिंग करने आए थे बाद में, जिस समय तक ईशान किशन बैटिंग करे तो उस समय तक बॉलिंग करने नहीं आ रहे थे, वजह क्या लगती है आपको?
नहीं, हम लोग भी वेट कर रहे थे ईशान कैसे फेस करता है उसकी बॉल को, लेकिन वो आए नहीं, उसके पहले ही ईशान आउट हो गया।
क्या लगता है अगर आते तो क्या होता है?
नहीं, देखिए ये क्रिकेट है, ये कुछ भी हो सकता है, बट हम लोग भी देखना चाहते थे कि वो बैटल कैसा होता है, क्योंकि नाम बड़ा सुना था हमने, तो हम सोच रहे थे कि एक बार ईशान के सामने आए, देखे कि भाई कैसा उसमें वो करता है।
अच्छा, तो थोड़ी मायूसी हुई कि भाई ईशान किशन और उस्मान तारिक के बीच में जो जंग होनी चाहिए थी आज उस टाइप का क्रिकेट के मैदान में?
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल मायूसी हुई कि हम चाह रहे थे कि उस्मान तारिक भी आए, उनको भी देखें कि कैसी बॉलिंग करते हैं और ईशान कैसी बैटिंग करता है उनके सामने, बट ये नहीं हो सका।
आप अपनी भावना को कैसे प्रकट करेंगे?
बहुत खुश हैं, बहुत ज्यादा खुशी हो रही है। इंडिया जीत गई, प्राउड मूवमेंट है सब लोगों के लिए। बस
कैसा लगा एक माँ के तौर पे और क्रिकेट प्रशंसक के तौर पे?
बहुत प्राउड फील हुआ, बहुत अच्छा खेला और सब प्लेयर मिलकर अच्छा किए और इंडिया जीती। बस इसी मौके का इंतजार था।
साल पहले जब वो टीम में थे और 2 साल बीच में नहीं रहे, इस लंबे अंतराल को कैसे आप लोगों ने संभाला? ईशान को वो 2 साल का कैसा गुजरा समय?
कुछ नहीं, बस ईशान को एक ही बात, उसके पापा, उसका भाई, पूरी फैमिली, सब लोग सपोर्ट में खड़े थे और बोले कुछ नहीं, बस आपको अपना काम करना है। और उसने मेहनत की, बहुत मेहनत की ईशान ने, और कभी मतलब परेशान अगर होता भी था तो व्यक्त नहीं किया और अपने कड़ी मेहनत की। और हम लोग फैमिली, सब लोगों का बहुत सपोर्ट था कि मोरली डाउन नहीं होना है।
सो हैप्पी, मतलब बहुत ही अच्छा, मतलब ऐसा चीज, और अगेंस्ट पाकिस्तान के अगेंस्ट इस तरीके से रन भी बनाए 77 और इन 40 बॉल्स, ये बहुत ही काबिल तारीफ है। और मैं धन्यवाद देना चाहता हूं ईशान को। मैंने कल भी बोले थे, ये मैच आपका जो स्कोर, आप जब बड़े रन बनाएंगे और वो चीज आपको डेडिकेट करना है पूरा देशवासी को, क्योंकि आज हम लोग पूरा कंट्री आज बहुत खुश है, क्योंकि जिस तरीके से ईशान ने रन बनाया, इतना बहुत प्रेशर मैच में, और विकेट भी इतना आसान नहीं है। ये जीत बहुत ज्यादा जरूरी था टीम इंडिया के लिए, वर्ल्ड कप को मॉरल हाई करने के लिए। मैं बहुत ज्यादा खुश हूं और मुझे लग रहा है कंट्री भी बहुत ज्यादा खुश हो।
And well, with this spectacular victory over Pakistan, India has also made it to Super 8. It looks like a good story so far. Hoping for the best, really. That's all we could pack for you for now. Heading into a very quick break. We'll be right back with lots more.
This is News 18 Network. India's largest news network.
Now we're just getting a breaking news where Mohsin Naqvi's mid-game exit draws attention. Now during the India-Pakistan clash, the PCB chairman and the Pakistan Interior Minister Mohsin Naqvi was seen leaving the R. Premadasa Stadium early during Pakistan's batting collapse against India in the T20 World Cup. Now a video of Naqvi's exit went viral on social media, though no official reason has been given for his early departure yet. Now, India set a competitive score of 175-7 after opting to bat first. Now, we are joined by CNN News 18's Vineet Ramakrishnan. Vineet, very good morning to you and thank you for joining us. Now, Mohsin Naqvi holds a dual position. He's also the PCB chairman and the Interior Minister. So, what kind of message does that send when he left on such a high-profile match, right when Pakistan's batting started collapsing?
Well, Mohsin Naqvi's mid-game exit now has kind of become a defining visual of this India-Pakistan clash. The PCB chairman, as you mentioned, he's also the Interior Minister. leaving our Premadasa Stadium as early as the 12th over, right after Mohammad Nawaz fell and Pakistan slumped to 72 for 5. And from that point onwards, there was no, turning back for Pakistan. Pretty much summed up the game itself. Pakistan really, an embarrassing defeat for them, a huge defeat. And also, I mean, it kind of seemed that the Naqvi's patience also ran out and doesn't really look well as well. And as I said, it was an embarrassing defeat, losing by 61 runs, the biggest margin in India-Pakistan encounters. And you have to look back at what Mohsin Naqvi's antics were throughout, the week-long boycott, threat drama, and everything that was surrounding it. The global attention was in a way on Naqvi. So Naqvi leaving is no surprise because all the cameras and everything was, aimed at him. And with the kind of performance that Pakistan put out, anybody would just walk out of it. And eventually, I think Naqvi's patience ran out. And as I mentioned, as early as the 12th over, there were still 8 overs remaining, but he left as early as the 8th over. And as I mentioned, it was embarrassing, not just for the Pakistan fans, but also for the PCB chairman and the Interior Minister of Pakistan, who created all this hubris around the boycott threat and the saga. So clearly his patience running out with his team as well.
Right. Now, the video of him leaving the stadium quickly went viral within minutes. Now, how does that, do you think that affected the morale of the team as well as the fans?
Well, to be honest, the team players would not even have noticed that Mohsin Naqvi had gone because the Premadasa, everybody was there in the VIP enclosures, and the morale of the team within Pakistan was, the team itself was down and out in the first 6 overs of their chase. They lost 4 wickets, their top order completely blown away in those first 6 overs itself. There was lack of clarity in terms of how Pakistan went about the game in itself, winning the toss and opting to bowl first on when many experts believe that you needed to bat first. And again, the manner in which they started that stiff chase of 176, just trying gung-ho every ball and losing wickets. So morale of the side was eventually, it was not there at all to start off with, right when they started. So they would not have really noticed, Naqvi's exit. But then again, from a social media point of view, from a Pakistan fan perspective, those kind of visuals would not be going down well with the Pakistan fans. Also, even for the players, once they would have realized that their chairman, their, interior minister is not there at the end of the game, that morale would also be, down for the players as well. During the game might not have affected much, but after this, as you mentioned, the social media, in the social media, the video had gone viral. They will be talking about it a lot more. Pakistan fans would be talking about it. The players would also get to know about it. So yeah, overall their morale would be down. Remember, Pakistan are still not out of the tournament. They still have 1 game to go against Namibia, and they need to win this if they need to have any chance in the Super 8. And to see that their own, chairman leaving the game, not even sitting there to complete the game, most definitely, as you mentioned, the morale would be down for the players as well once they see the video, and realize that, something of this sort had happened.
Right. Now, would it help the PCB to issue a clarification? Because it could have been a routine exit or something, probably something came up. So would it help their case if they come out and give an official clarification, regardless of whatever the intent may be?
It could help. It could help. It doesn't really require an official confirmation if there is a communication between the Pakistan players and, Mohsin Naqvi saying that, okay, there was something, that was going, so he had to leave. Remember, Naqvi had came in specifically for this game. We had reported, and a lot of media also was reporting that there could be a possibility of a meeting with, the ICC chair, Jesha, and others as well because of whatever had happened, leading up to the game as well. So that meeting would have been done. But as you mentioned, yes, it would be great that if that communication could happen between Naqvi and the players. But an official one or a public statement is very unlikely on this matter.
Right. Thank you, Vineet, for joining in and sharing your crucial input with us. Now, CNN News 18's Shivani Gupta breaks down the match and the key factors that went into India's favour last night. Listen in.
It was indeed a consummate performance from the Indian team. There was absolutely no question marks over their performance today. Yes, they lost a couple of early wickets, and at that stage Pakistan had a great opportunity to maybe restrict India. But the way Ishan Kishan played in the power play, he completely took the game away from them, and after that I think others only had to play a supporting role to ensure that they could cross the 160, 170 mark, and we had good late cameos for that, including from Rinku Singh. But it was really Pakistani batting that was so poor in this match that it completely became a one-sided contest. So while India of course was completely dominating, Pakistani side, once they lost those 3 wickets in the first 2 overs, literally no one saw them coming back from there. Yes, some teams have done it, but I don't think anybody had
Welcome back to CNN News 18. Thank you so much for staying with us. My name is Heem Kaursaro, and here's a quick look at what we're bringing for you at this hour ahead of the assembly elections. The Sabrimala women entry issue, it is once again returned to the national spotlight. The Supreme Court is scheduled to consider review and writ petitions related to its landmark 2018 verdict that allowed the entry of women of all ages into the Lord Ayappa temple. A leader of opposition, V.D. Satheesan, has urged Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan to clarify the government's position. Kerala Minister P. Rajiv responded by stating that the current hearing is primarily procedural. Listen to this.
പക്ഷേ സുപ്രീം കോടതിയിൽ ഈ കേസ് വരുമ്പോൾ സർക്കാർ ഒരു അഫിഡവിറ്റ് കൊടുത്തിട്ടുണ്ട് നേരത്തെ. ആ അഫിഡവിറ്റ് മാറ്റി ഒരു അഫിഡവിറ്റ് കൊടുക്കാൻ ഗവൺമെന്റ് തയ്യാറുണ്ടോ എന്ന് മുഖ്യമന്ത്രി വ്യക്തമാക്കണം. ഇതിൽ ഒളിച്ചുകളി പറ്റില്ല, ഈ അഴകുഴമ്പൻ സമീപനം പറ്റില്ല. എന്താണ് നിലപാടെന്ന് കൃത്യമായിട്ട് പറയണം. സ്ത്രീ പ്രവേശനത്തിന് ഇപ്പോഴും സർക്കാർ അനുകൂലിക്കുന്നുണ്ടോ? ഒന്ന്, അനുകൂലിക്കുന്നുണ്ട് എങ്കിൽ ഈ അഫിഡവിറ്റിൽ അവർ ഉറച്ചു നിൽക്കുക. ഇനി അനുകൂലിക്കുന്നില്ല, നേരത്തെ ക്ഷമ ചോദിച്ചാണ്, മാപ്പ് പറഞ്ഞതാണ്, അന്നത്തെ ദേവസ്വം മന്ത്രി പരസ്യമായിട്ട് അത് തെറ്റുപറ്റിപ്പോയി എന്നെല്ലാം പറഞ്ഞതാണ്. അതുകൊണ്ട് അങ്ങനെയാണെങ്കിൽ അഫിഡവിറ്റ് പിൻവലിക്കണം. ഏതെങ്കിലും ഒരു നിലപാട് വേണം. ഇപ്പോഴാണ് യഥാർത്ഥത്തിൽ എന്താണ് ഇവരുടെ സ്റ്റാൻഡ് എന്ന് വ്യക്തമാകാൻ പോകുന്നത്. അവർ തീരുമാനിക്കട്ടെ. അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഇപ്പോൾ ഗവൺമെന്റ് മാറുമല്ലോ. UDF ഗവൺമെന്റ് വരുമ്പോൾ UDFന്റെ ഒരു സ്റ്റാൻഡ് ഉണ്ടല്ലോ ഈ കാര്യത്തിൽ. ആ സ്റ്റാൻഡ് കോടതിയിൽ അഫിഡവിറ്റ്.
Earlier direction on the review petition was to constitute a constitutional bench to review the earlier verdict. I think this is an only opportunity to constitute a new constitutional bench with 99 members to review the existing verdict. After that, we can discuss what is to be done on the basis of the directions of the Supreme Court.
All right, for more on this, we have Neetu Regukumar with us. Neetu, thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast. Of course, with all these developments, the Pinarayi Vijayan-led government is once again being closely observed by political observers as well as the people as to whether or not it's able to maintain its pro-entry stance.
See, ahead of the state assembly elections, the Pinarayi Vijayan government has been put in the defensive once again when it comes to Sabrimala and entry of women of all age groups. We saw the opposition leader V.D. Satheesan himself leading the charge, asking Chief Minister to clarify what is their stand on entry of women of all age groups, because the affidavit which the LDF government had given in court earlier supported entry of women of all age groups. They were hailed as progressive. This was such a progressive move, and women in this age group also entered the temple after this. We saw the series of protests in the state following the Supreme Court verdict allowing women of all age groups to enter the temple. NSS, one of the prominent Hindu organizations, was in the forefront of this protest. They took it to the court also. Across the state, we saw these protests in Sabrimala, in Pathanamthitta, and following that in 2019 Lok Sabha elections, LDF just won 1 out of the 20 seats. So it's after that they tried to soften their stand when it comes to this. But now, ahead of the 2026 assembly elections, the Chief Minister is being asked to clarify their stand, whether they will give a fresh affidavit, whether they will change their stand or this existing one. Now, in Supreme Court today, they might not have to give all this, or there won't be questions regarding this also. But in Kerala, there is politics over this, and the opposition opposition is taking this issue up also ahead of the assembly elections, and looks like the left front will have to give their answer, because till now the stand that the Chief Minister and the LDF was taking is that this is before the Supreme Court. We will go by whatever the Supreme Court says. But now, since again there is this being considered, this question will be raised again, especially throughout the assembly elections, with the Congress and UDF hoping that they can reap the benefits of this electorally.
Absolutely, Neetu. Now, that is something that remains to be seen as well, as you mentioned. Let's shift our focus for now. Ahead of the Kerala Assembly elections, Congress leader Manishankar Ayyar has praised Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan, saying he will continue as the state's Chief Minister. Ayyar also appealed to Vijayan to follow the path of Gandhi and continue supporting Panchayati Raj institutions. However, the Congress party has quickly distanced itself from Ayyar's remarks. Party sources have clarified that Ayyar has had no connection with Congress for the past few years and that he speaks and writes purely in his personal capacity. Listen to this.
In the presence of the Chief Minister, who I'm sure will be the next Chief Minister, I renew my plea that in order to reinforce Kerala as the best Panchayati Raj state in the country, the law should be, the state law should be amended on the basis of the experience we have, on the basis of Thomas Isaac's insights, on the basis of a 5-volume report of which I was the chairman, and above all, on the note on district planning by Shri V.K. Ramachandran, which was circulated by the Planning Commission, when the Planning Commission actually believed in Panchayati Raj. I'm afraid there is no champion for Panchayati Raj left in the country. So therefore, I have to fall at your feet, Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan, and say, please, sir, pick up the baton that the Congress has dropped.
All right, Neetu stays with us. Now, Neetu, let me come back to you on that also. And how do you assess these statements?
See, this is not the first time Manishankar Ayyar has put the Congress party in the dock. Now, this is a state which is going in for elections in another 1 or 2 months, and the Congress is trying hard. It's a do-or-die situation for the Congress. It's at that time Manishankar Ayyar is here at a program, at an event organized by the state government, an international conference on development and democracy, where he made these statements and stating that Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan will continue to be the Chief Minister of Kerala, and even going on to say that there is nobody else who are champions of Panchayati Raj, so he has to fall on Pinarayi Vijayan's feet and say that you need to kind of come up and work for Panchayati Raj. So that is something which has not definitely gone well with the Congress in this state, but this is not the first time Manishankar Ayyar has put the Congress party in the dock.
Right. Well, Neetu, thank you so much for the latest on this. All right, let's shift our focus now on to other developments which we are also getting for you right now. Karnataka Minister Priyank Kharge has alleged that there's a huge money laundering racket operating behind the RSS. He's claimed that around 2,500 affiliated organizations are associated with the RSS. The allegations that, according to him, funds are being collected from several countries, including the United States and England, raising concerns about financial transparency. The minister said that he would continue raising the issue until the RSS is registered under the Constitution. Listen to this first.
More than 2,500 organizations network ಇದೆ. ಅಮೆರಿಕಾ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಇಂಗ್ಲೆಂಡ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಅಲ್ಲಲ್ಲಿಂದ ದುಡ್ಡು ತಗೊಂಡು ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ದೀಸ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಆರ್ ಇಂಟು ಮನಿ ಲಾಂಡ್ರಿಂಗ್. ಇವ್ರಿಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಸರ್ ಇಷ್ಟು ದುಡ್ಡು? ಹೇಗೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ? ಇವರು ನಾವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ನಾಗರಿಕರಾಗಬೇಕಂತೆ, ನಾವು ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಕಟ್ಟಬೇಕು, ನೀವು ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಕಟ್ಟಬೇಕು, ಅವರು ಫ್ರೀ ಫಾಲೋ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಅದೆಂಗೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇರ್ತದೆ? ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ.
All right, for more on this, we have Afreen Hussain live with us. Afreen, good morning. Thank you so much for joining me. There are huge allegation coming there of huge money laundering racket by Karnataka Minister Priyank Kharge.
A very good morning to you and our viewers as well. Karnataka Minister Priyank Kharge has leveled serious charges against the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh. He said that more than 2,500 organizations affiliated with the RSS, including in countries like United States and England, money comes from there. And he's also gone on to say that they are into money laundering. He says that they take Guru Dakshina, that is donations, in the name of their flag. He says that when he researched about who exactly is their guru, he came to know that it is the flag, and in the name of the flag they're taking Guru Dakshina, and in the name of donation they're taking Guru Dakshina. So all of this money, he says that considering all these points, you can say that they are into money laundering. Now these are serious allegations made by Karnataka Minister Priyank Kharge against the RSS. He's also gone on to say that the RSS is not registered under the constitution, under the law, and he's going to make sure that unless and until he gets the RSS to be registered, he's not going to sit quiet. Now remember that Minister Priyank Kharge is a very vocal critique of the RSS. Even a couple of months ago, he had stoked a controversy when he wrote a letter to Chief Minister Siddaramaiah asking him to ban all RSS-related activities on government premises. He's also questioned recently as to how the RSS has gotten money to construct their head office. He's asked several questions as to how and why the RSS is operating in the ways they do, and he said that he's not going to keep quiet. He'll continue questioning the organization even in the future.
Right. Well, Afreen, thank you so much for bringing us the latest on this as well. Now, ahead of the Tamil Nadu Assembly elections, Congress MP Manickam Tagore has dismissed speculations of a rift between the Congress and the DMK over seat sharing. Speaking to reporters here, he reiterated that Congress remains in alliance with the DMK as part of the India bloc, and that a committee for seat sharing talks will be formed on the 22nd of February. He has emphasized that Congress is a national party with principles and expects to receive the respect that is due in the seat sharing process. Let's listen to this.
देखिए 70 दिन तक समन्वय समिति ना बन पाना साफ दिखाता है कि कांग्रेस की क्या पोजीशन है, क्या जगह है इस पूरे गठबंधन में, और वो जूनियर से भी जूनियर पार्टनर बल्कि जीरो पार्टनर बनने की कगार पर है। एक तरफ तो सिद्धांतों की बड़ी बड़ी बातें करती है कांग्रेस, बात करती है सीटों की, सत्ता की, लेकिन जब बात आती है किसी भी तरह की पार्टनरशिप की, सीट शेयरिंग की, तो क्षेत्रीय दल पूरी तरह से उसे ठेंगा दिखाते हैं। और इस बार फिर वो जाहिर हो रहा है कि ठेंगा दिखाया जा रहा है डीएमके की तरफ से कांग्रेस पार्टी को। सोचिए इस पार्टी को, कांग्रेस को और राहुल गांधी जी को जब इतनी भद्दी और गलीज बातें सनातन धर्म के बारे में कही जाती है, उसको एक गंदी बीमारी कहा जाता है हिंदुओं के धर्म को, तब राहुल गांधी साथ देते हैं डीएमके का। और अब स्टालिन जब खुद कह रहे हैं कि डीएमके अकेले जीत सकती है, तो इसका मतलब क्या है कि कांग्रेस उनके लिए गैर जरूरी है।
And amid ongoing seat-sharing discussions between the Congress and the ruling DMK, Congress MP Karthi Chidambaram emphasized that allocating seats in a coalition is complex and it requires careful negotiation. He used the metaphor cut the cake and share it to describe how seats are distributed among coalition partners. So this is the latest that we're getting for you amid this ongoing seat-sharing discussion between the Congress and the ruling DMK. For more on this, we have Purnima Murli live with us. Purnima, what can you tell us?
Well, there's been a strain between the DMK and the Congress alliance, especially with several leaders from Tamil Nadu, from the Congress, openly talking about seat sharing as well as power sharing. So we've seen Manickam Tagore time and again talk about how they are not looking at just sharing of seats, but also sharing of power, something that the DMK had ruled out, saying that power sharing or a coalition government is not feasible for a state like Tamil Nadu. And now Karthi Chidambaram has also used a metaphor to talk about how seat sharing when it comes to alliances is going to be a complex one and should be done with proper care. So Karti Chidambaram and others, several others are also hoping that this time around the DMK considers some of the requests put forth by the Congress. On the 22nd of February is when the alliance talks will officially begin. We'll have to wait and see how the negotiations between the DMK and the Congress pan out, because we've seen several statements coming in from several leaders of the Congress from Tamil Nadu.
All right, Purnima, thank you so much for bringing us the latest on this. Of course, there's going to be lots to track on that front as well. All right. India is hosting the India AI Impact Summit 2026 in New Delhi today onwards until the 20th of February. The summit is anchored in three core mantras: people, planet and progress, which define India's approach to global cooperation on artificial intelligence. Now, this event will bring together global leaders, policymakers, we're going to see innovators and domain experts from across the world to deliberate on the future roadmap for AI and its responsible deployment. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate the AI Impact Expo 2026 at 5 p.m. at Bharat Mandapam in New Delhi. This expo will also host 13 country pavilions highlighting international collaboration in the AI ecosystem. This summit is expected to position India as a key global hub for AI innovation as well as policy dialogue. And in that backdrop, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has taken to social media to post on X, bringing the world together to discuss AI. Starting today, India hosts the AI Impact Summit at Bharat Mandapam in Delhi. I warmly welcome the world leaders, captains of industry, innovators, policy makers, researchers and tech enthusiasts from across the world for this summit. The theme of the summit is Sarvajana Hite and Sarvajana Sukhaya, or welfare for all people as well as happiness for all people, reflecting our shared commitment to harnessing artificial intelligence for human-centric progress. This is what he is focused on in his post as well. For more on this, we have Akanksha Swaroop live with us. Akanksha, thank you so much for joining me on the broadcast. Good morning. What are we going to be looking at? What do you think are going to be some of the major items on the agenda when it comes to India's AI story?
Right. A very good morning to you and all our viewers. Let's not forget that Prime Minister has always said that this is an inflection point now that India will be hosting the AI Impact Summit. It's also marking a point where you're looking at just India transitioning from dialogue to now demonstrable